Relax and get loose while I put you up on game. The Figure Booth with Josh and Nate. This that podcast folk. Those in the know. Batman vs. Iron Man. How would it go? We talking one of a kind. Collectibles. Mezco toys are respectable. It's unacceptable if it's not in the packaging. Nate don't take pics if you ain't rapping it. Nate's dirty tricks are always happening. But damn it, man, don't you be stressing. Round here we believe in plastic confessions. We trying to figure out the figures that's gonna stand the test of time. That G.I. Joe handmade hit me in the spine. There's perfection in the way that these toys are made. But I also wanna know, do I pick Wade or Slade? So this is where I come to kick it with the guys. The Figure Booth. Like, comment, and subscribe.
What is up? Welcome back, Toy Fam, to another episode of the Figure Booth. You've made it. I'm your host, Josh, aka Prime to the First.
Hey guys, this is Nate, aka FigureFan_Nate, and you've reached episode 46, which we're calling The Sanctuary.
Yes, the setup, the sanctuary, your getaway from the craziness, your oasis. And this was actually
your man cave or woman cave.
or woman cave. And it was a suggestion from one of our listeners. Shout out to Star Marvel 76. Gave us the great idea of just like, hey, let's talk about our man cave, our setup. And one, if we have a name for it. Two, how did you go about it? Because a lot of us, we either have a huge room dedicated to our collection. Some of us, whether it's in the garage or it's outside or just one shelf. I remember at one point I only had like a small little closet dedicated to my collection. And now it's kind of spread out between like two rooms where I'm like, it's getting a little chaotic and I want to organize it. But yeah, that's kind of going to be our theme for today's episode.
I love the idea. Thank you, Star Marvel 76, aka Troop. Speaking of Star Marvel 76, if you guys missed it, he's doing a really awesome 5-star collaboration giveaway right now. So if you guys post a toy photo, you can get entered into that. I think it's graffiti related. Really awesome dial that he's giving away. But yeah, the collection. Also awesome to gather.
Yeah.
Can be kind of a hell to decorate.
Yeah.
And a lot of people maybe aren't even decorating, but like you work your asses off to get these figures, we're hunting pre-orders, we're doing all this stuff to acquire. But then some people don't take the extra effort to display that stuff or, open it up and have some appreciation. It's more of like the hunt sometimes is more important to some people than the display. But for me, the display and the appreciation is just as important,
Yeah. And I could see how, like, if you don't have the proper setup, then it's all about the hunt. And I think your collection strives on the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always, I think that's ultimately a goal, because I know a lot of collectors go through their phases where, depending on your situation, maybe you don't have a ton of display, so it's a continuous like rotation of a shelf. Like, when I first started, all I had was 2 shelves dedicated to my collection, and I spent a lot of time hunting. But those 2 dedicated shelves, like, I would put a lot of time and thought into it. On one, I would open. I tried not to be a mock collector after the crazy incident that happened with my storage unit. And once I lost a good chunk, I was like, I'm going to be just opening up stuff, So I really took the time to do a lot of rotation and really either pose or complete a team, or there was always kind of a goal set behind what I was hunting, and really displaying them on those 2 shelves, where the long-term goal in my mind when I had those 2 shelves, I'm like, eventually I'll have a room where DTOF was the goal for a long time. I was like, I need to get a DTOF. I don't make it to a certain collector status until I have a DTOF. And I got 3 of them and they're full. And I'm like, am I happy with them? Like, I need a good setup.
Right.
I see a lot of great setups out there. There's lights. There's you can do like a whole effect. You can add dials to it. So right now I'm just kind of looking at, how do I want my setup? I have a couple of shelves back here behind me, but my DTOFs are in my garage. And I don't know. I want to get to a place where I'm super happy with my collection. And I think right now it's just kind of chaotic. And I think a lot of us go through that. But do you have like a name for your man cave?
Well, it's funny. I call it the Bat Cave.
Oh, the Bat Cave, not Nate's Nards.
I'm just a huge, Nate's Nards. No, I did call it Prime's Privates for a while,
Yeah.
but then my wife was like, "Wait, what does that mean?"
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's funny. I labeled my AC unit as the Bat Cave, so when I go into the app, but yeah, I kind of call it just my man cave, my Bat Cave.
Yeah,
It's very DC heavy. And it's gone through a lot of different transitions, kind of like what you're talking about. Like when I first started collecting, everything was sort of collecting in boxes. You know, I had like maybe one bookcase or just like one part of my room that I could show off, maybe a couple of figures.
Mm-hmm.
And the figures that I was showing were like, you know, top tier. You got to make sure these are the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like my favorite ones that I'm showing off because that's a representation of me. And then I feel like there was also a kind of a weird phase where I didn't want to show it off because then, I don't know, I thought maybe for some weird reason, I thought it was weird to people or I wasn't as willing to share that side of myself. You know, it's like when I first started my Instagram account, it was a different name. I didn't tell anybody about it. But then you start to realize like, I've got appreciation, you know, I'm proud of what I have as a collector. Yeah. 'Cause like I said before, we work our butts off for it. It should be something that you hold up some value to displaying it. And sometimes it's a work in progress. Yeah. Maybe it's people waiting on another house so that you can get more space, or you're in an apartment, you want to get to a house. Space is always a thing. That's what we're talking about, you know, manage your collection, having a focus. But I think it should be something like a goal for anyone, just to have some kind of display where they can appreciate their stuff. And mine is still kind of a work in progress. Like my whole setup has changed a few different times, and it's still sort of in that mid phase where I don't really know how I want it to be at the end of the day. Yeah. But I've sort of changed because I used to have a lot of my stuff behind me. Like I remember you remember.
Right. Yeah.
When we first started this podcast, I had a lot of stuff behind me and detolfs and bookshelves, but this is also where I work for my day job. Yeah. And being at home because of the pandemic, being surrounded by toys, it can be really distracting. Yeah. You know? So I started getting distracted and wanting to pull things and mess with stuff while I'm working. I'm like, okay, I got to have a separation between the two. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I kind of moved my stuff into another room, and then I've got this as like my office, but you can see there's still, you know, there's Conan right there. Yeah. And a few others around me. So they still kind of come into here. So I'm like, okay, I got to have something in here. Yeah. I just don't know. Like, I like your display. I know you've recently moved. Yeah. You've got some floating shelves. I know you got your detolfs, I think, in your garage, right? Yeah. Yeah. And I put in some floating shelves, and then in front of me, there's some shelves that I put up, and it has all my Spider-Man and Hulk, just because I'm a huge Spidey and Hulk fanatic, and I have just to see them right there and they're within hand's reach. I don't mess with them too much, but seeing them gives me enough satisfaction. I'm like, all right, cool. Kind of keeping the collection in mind. I always appreciate seeing those individuals that have like a concise collection where there's like a theme to it, or, you know, each shelf or each detolf is one whole series, whether it's Star Wars related or TMNT. And it goes with like a lot of artwork too. I think with collectors, there's a nice blend of not only collecting action figures, but then there's a lot of artwork. Obviously, comic books that kind of started everything. So that to me is like one of my pain points where I can't display all my comic books. I have a couple like picture frames where some of my favorite comics and comics that I've gotten signed from different cons and stuff like that. But I would love to have a space where I can have more of my comics easily available, so I can just sit down and read a couple of trades or whatnot. But they're kind of stashed away just because, again, space. And then having the comics out every time, it's like they get in the way, stuff like that. So right now, I think I'm in the process of just like really trimming down the collection, because I have so much. Like, I hate seeing my stuff in bins and boxed up. Like, I rather just sell it. Right. and then just cleaning up the collection and having it clear, concise. Like, okay, what do I want to really stick to? And I know we've kind of talked about this a couple of times, but it's giving you that satisfaction where I always see those collections, whether it's on IG or someone's house, where another one of my buddies, and he shows me his collection. I'm like, yeah, this is clean. And a lot of times they do put a lot of work into it. I know a lot of guys where if they get new stuff, they sell the old figures and they replace them with new ones. And sometimes I think I can appreciate that from a collector standpoint, where it's like they don't have that attachment. They can just sell it and replace it with a new and better figure. I think I'm getting to that point where I'm like, you know what? I've had this Toy Biz Legend or this Hasbro, and I have like 50 Wolverines. I should get rid of at least like 40 of them or 45 of them and just have 5 Wolverines, or maybe 49 of them and have one good solid Wolverine, which is really hard, I think. it's really tough to, like you said, go through and like I've got 50 different Batman.
Yeah.
Do I really need all these? Probably
Yeah.
not. So being more willing to let go of stuff. But as I've collected and as I've displayed, there's been some that have sort of cycled out. Like, okay, this when I first got in the NECA 89 Batman, it was like the center of my display. And now it's more of like, that's kind of
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
My detops were like the apple or the bread and butter of my collection. And now they're like downstairs in my garage. I see them when I go into the shop every once in a while, but sometimes they're blocked by boxes, that I don't put them out and take care of them or appreciate them as much as I used to. Whereas I think there's a love-hate relationship with detops. You can sneeze and it creates like this domino effect where one figure will fall. So right now there's a couple of shelves in the detop where things are just toppled. There's some Mezcos toppled over. Joker always falls over. It's usually like some of my Mezcos that end up falling over. Some of my Mayfics that fell over. And after a while, I'm like, like whatever. But I think an old me would walk by and be like, "What? You can need to fix?" I used to fix that all the time. Now I'm like, just let them topple over. I'm like that. I think that's starting to tell me something. I'm like, I don't care as much for the detox, so I need to change it up and put them into a different type of setup. That's when I was like, you know what? I need to change my layout because if I'm letting them sit there and they're all like, falling over, they don't look nice.
Yeah, and you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like detops are great because yes, it's a full glass display piece.
Yeah.
Supposed to be reducing the dust, although I didn't really ever see that. Mine got very dusty.
Yep.
Detops are a little finicky because you can open the door's stuck with magnets. If you pull it a little too hard, it shakes the whole damn thing.
Oh, yes.
And then you've got all of your figures just all over the place. And then trying to reach back and get one of your figures that are in the back, like I almost just don't do it because I'm like, that's gonna tip over. Or it's going to knock something else over. So detops are great, but they're also a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's almost like It's almost like if you want to put something under something you're not going to ever take out, or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's a collector's piece. I'm never going to touch it. Okay, I'll put it at the back of the detop. That way, I don't have to worry about it. But even at the front, and if you're trying to fill those up, they start to they can burst at the seams, or how many rows of Mezco can I fit in one detop? Okay, maybe 5 rows. But talk about something that's like so sensitive to being touched. Yeah, if you bump into that or something, you're screwed.
And it's always good talking. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, if you're not dusting that stuff, it can get dirty and nasty looking pretty quickly. Which, if you're really trying to display that, you got to be good about dusting and taking figures out, cleaning it off, putting figures back. It's a pain in the ass.
No, that's true. They do get hella dusty, and I'm like, how? Well, I mean, obviously mine because it's in the garage, and I have my other workshop stuff going on in there. But even before, when I was in my previous house, they would still get dusty. And I'm like, how are they getting so dusty? Like, it was just crazy. Even the inside, and you remove them, you see all the little footprints on the glass. But what I was gonna say was, it's also great talking to other collectors about their setup because, like, Mario always recommends the Billy bookcases for the displays. And I got one for my son for his Jurassic Park and his Lego sets. And immediately I set it all up and I'm like, way better than my setup. And it's easier. He can change it around as he wants. Don't have to worry about the glass. It's just, I don't know. It's just so much easier to manage. And it kind of gives you an idea of like you can adjust the shelves, which I know, I don't think you can do that with the detops, but.
No, you can't. Yeah, they're pretty specific in one area because you have like the wire frame.
Oh, that's right. Yep, the wire frame. Yeah.
So you have to make sure that the glass is sitting on that.
Yeah.
So you can't really switch it up. And I like the Billies too. That's what I'm thinking about to go with next because there's a lot of different variations of Billies. There's the open ones, which are great. You can mod them pretty easily. Then you also have the Billies that have the closing door with the glass.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to upgrade to at some point.
With the closing door,
yeah. I'm getting away from detolfs and actually sold off a few of mine, just so I can encourage myself to maybe get a Billy or look at different possibilities. For how I want to display my stuff.
There is a super limited rare Billy. It's a Billy Moon case. It's all armored. You can put your collection there, and the Billy Moon case, nothing happens. They don't get dusty. Your figures don't fall. They actually increase in value.
He needs to patent that. Call IKEA. Be like, hey, I've got a new case for you. The Billy Moon bookcase.
Yeah. On the side, it
Yeah.
says Walmart's trash, so it constantly reminds you to not go to Walmart. But I think I am going to get some Billy bookcases. I don't know if I'll get the door. We'll see. But I need to unload a bunch of my collection first, so I can really see what I want to keep.
And that's part about too, is like, how do you manage that space that you have? Like you talked about, some people's collection is a closet full of stuff, which maybe that works for you right now in your current space. It could be a basement. Maybe it's your attic. Maybe it's inside of your closet. You know, maybe you're displaying inside your closet. It's rare. You know, I'm thankful that I have a room that I can actually devote to just my stuff. And Prime's also fortunate that way. But I know there's a lot of people that don't have that. Yeah. So do you let it start to invade you, you know, your living room, or, you know, what do you do with it? And if you are going to display something, how do you manage what gets displayed? What stays in the box? You know, is it something that's important to you? Or like, it sounds like for me in Prime, it's probably stuff that is personally important, something that has a personal attachment to us.
Right.
Is that how you kind of choose what you display, or is it pretty random sometimes?
Sometimes it feels like it's random. I think when I'm not really focused and I'm just like collecting, like there was a point these shelves just got, I would look back and I'm like, I didn't even know I had that figure. Like, how the hell did Baron Zemo from the MCU get back there? There's a couple figures where I'm like, what was I like? I got them on sale $10, but I'm like, I need to be smarter with the figures I pick up, just because I don't want to end up with a bunch of randomness. Like, I like seeing a cohesive collection where I'm like, oh, great, like this is so. Now I'm really being aware of like what I'm collecting. I mean, and for a moment there, I was really conscious of what I was getting. I was really strictly sticking to Legends and Mezco. That was it. And I was completing teams, and I was just solely focused on, if it's not helping me complete the team, then I'm not going to pick them up. I could care less about the Build-A-Figure. And then FOMO got me, and I was like, oh, I need the Build-A-Figure, because now I started this whole like, I want to complete just Build-A-Figures, and I have like a full shelf in my DTOF. I think it's like 2 shelves just of all the Build-A-Figures from like the last couple of years. Then I had some classic Build-A-Figures, and then so I was like, okay, now that's it. Like, I'm collecting Build-A-Figures. Like, the collection kind of changed path as you start collecting. And I think it's good to just be aware of that and reflect, like, okay, I'm changing paths again. I was getting to the 1/18 scale really hardcore. I think I've stopped. I'm at a point where I just need to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Because I have so much, and I don't want to end up with stuff in my closet or stuff under my desk, and it's just like boxes and boxes. Like, I had a bunch of stuff underneath this desk where I was like, I need to open it up, or I should just sell it, because it sucks. At the end of the day, it does suck if I have enough space to display it, but I'm not taking advantage of it. I'm like, am I really collecting because I want to, or am I just trying to keep up? And I think that's hard for collectors to admit.
No, it's so true. And I think there's probably a lot of people listening, and even myself, sometimes when you think about it, like, am I collecting for the race?
Yeah.
Or am I collecting really for myself? I mean, just think how much time and money and just personal investment that you not really waste, but I guess invest into this hobby.
Yeah.
And if all you're doing with that is keeping that in a box and not even opening it up to appreciate it, like, what is it that you're really after?
Yeah.
You know, so I think having a collection goal in mind, not just a goal like we've talked about in the past, but having a display goal.
Yeah.
Or something like Prime's point, like, am I trying to complete a team?
Yeah.
What kind of display do I want to have? You know, when you watch streams like what me and Prime do, or even others like Toy Migos, Toying Around, you name it, Unparalleled, your eyes start to wonder. You look back there, you're like, okay, what does he have?
Yeah.
You know, what does he have on display?
And really sweet setups too. Like, I know Kevin has a certain shelf dedicated that he changes depending on and that's great. He has that, even though he has like a bunch of stuff to always unbox, but he has a dedicated, like, this is my rotating, content shelf. Wade has a really nice setup where he has a bunch of Legends set up in the background that displayed very nicely. It's easy to get to, stuff like that.
Even when we were talking to Wade, sorry to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
I remember when we were talking to Wade, he had said, like, it's taken me a while to get it this way.
Yeah.
Because he had his Spider Shack, which sounded like a shed in his backyard where he was doing probably a lot of his reviews and stuff, and he didn't get to display stuff like he wanted to. And now he's moved into this room where it's kind of gotten to the point where he wants it. Yeah. It's got all these different display options, but it took him a while to get there,
For sure.
and like you said, Toy Migos. You see Playing With Myself, see Cheney, even Ernie. A lot of those guys have really great big rooms where they're displaying lots of figures, you know?
And you know, they put thought into it. At least it looks, I don't know about
Looks
Adam.
like they do.
I know Josh and and Ernie put a lot of thought into their display. Adam just throws stuff everywhere. But you know, you see that, and I think that's a aspiration for the rest of us. The younger collectors are the ones that are just stepping in and be like, oh, that's what I should kind of keep in the back of my mind, where my collection should be some type of like, it should be what do you call, like a lighthouse. Seeing these other collectors, use them as a lighthouse for them to guide you on how you want your display eventually. Because that's when I would see different and see, when I was collecting, it wasn't really, there wasn't a whole much streaming going on, but I would see pictures of people's collections and stuff like that, where DTOF was like, that was the thing. So DTOF was like my lighthouse for the longest time, where I didn't feel like I was the standard collector until I got a DTOF, and I had to get more than one. I couldn't just get one. I had to get, I think I have 3 or 4, but it's like you had to line them up. There was a certain criteria you had to meet back in the day, whereas now you can see different people's displays and you're like, you know, like X-Man 87, he has a wicked display setup where a lot of his followers and people in the community, you know, they use these individuals as pillars, where that's where they want to get their collection up to. And it's keeping it realistic. Like when I first started out, it was a closet in tiny little closet, and I had most of my stuff boxes, and it was like one shelf, or I'd use a bunch of thumbtacks just to pin the boxes, because I couldn't even take them out. That's how limited space I had. But I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm gonna one day have some DTOFs. I'm gonna open up everything. When I get to that point, it's gonna be like Christmas every day, because I was just opening up stuff. And it's been, you know, looking back, I'm like, I remember that, looking in my tiny little closet and feeling like crap. I'm like, this sucks. I'm a crappy collector.
It's not the way that I want it to be.
No,
you know?
it does.
But you had a goal. You had a display goal in your mind.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one of those other goals that we tell people to have, not only a collection goal, but a display goal. So like when you get that figure, think about where you're going to display it, or where do you want to display it? Is it going to be, you know, and maybe if you have more than one DTOF, think of different themes for your DTOFs.
Yeah.
Like this is my Mezco DTOF, or this is my DC DTOF, or this is my TMNT DTOF. Like keep it somewhat organized. I think that might help as well with what you collect. Because as you're looking at those DTOFs, and I'm looking at my TMNT, like, I'm missing a Rat King. I need to have a Rat King. So the next time I see a Rat King, I'm going to pick one up, you know, because it's a piece of my display that I think it's missing, and it's bothering me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of a fun distressor too, to kind of organize and kind of streamline your collection and give them either a genre or a specific line.
And don't make it like one thing I used to do is I would make my display as like a first starting point for opening a figure. So it's like I'd open it and then I'd just throw in this display because I didn't know where else to put it.
Yeah.
So you end up getting one DTOF that's just extremely messy of just new figures being added all the time. There's got no organization to it, but it's only because I didn't know where else to put it.
Yeah.
So I was actually been doing that with some of my, because I have a DTOF and bookcase in my other room.
Yeah.
And I've been noticing that it's been filling up with newer stuff because I'm not paying as much attention to it. So I went through this weekend and just sort of organizing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the organization that can really help kind of spur some new ideas for your display.
Yeah.
You know, like as I'm putting things away to store, because I'm starting to collect my loose stuff in like bags, and then I'll put it in like a plastic bin.
Yeah.
And then use that for loose stuff rather than just putting it straight onto the bookshelf. But then it made me just kind of go through and rethink like, okay, some of the stuff that's in this bin, should I just start selling this? Like I'm at Prime's point where I'm getting so sick of just having so much stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm sure my wife is too.
Yeah.
You know, where are you going to put all this? When we move, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, it just makes you really think about it. But it all comes back to that display and what I want it to look like and what I want to be in the display, what I want to represent me as a collector, not what's popular, not what's cool, not what is most valuable, but what is it that I'm interested in as a collector? What is it that really appeals to me? That's what I think we need to start remembering. Yeah.
And the display goal, like also like kind of keeps you grounded, where it should not let you get so out of control with your collection. Because if you start collecting everything, you're going to like, you know, I had that closet and it was literally tiny. So I was like, I know I can't collect everything I want, because at the same time I needed to save money to get out of that little tiny apartment I was in. I'm like, if I need bigger space, that means I'm gonna have to have or make more money. Go and get a better job. So that means my collection is not have to be put on pause so I can go finish school or go get that promotion or So it's like we have to be able to juggle the collection focus, and then it's like, okay, I gotta put a pin on you. I'm gonna go get some more money. I'm gonna go do my hustle. Come back, great. Now I got a big house, or I got a bigger place, or a dedicated room, or whatever. Fill in the blank. Now I can take you out of this tiny little closet and then put some shelves up. But I think the display goal really helps you motivate. It should motivate a collector to be like, hey, I shouldn't go so hard and then just fill up this closet, because then I'm gonna run out of room, or I'm gonna just stress myself out or stress the relationship out with whoever I have, whether it's my family or my significant other. But I think that always kind of grounded me, where I was like, I can't get too crazy. And yes, I would be missing out on stuff, but I'm like, I'll catch up. I'll either buy it later or I'll buy something new. And a lot of stuff that I've missed out on, like there's already been reissues or other companies started doing them. And now, I mean, look at the plethora of action figures that are out there. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, I did want that one figure, but now there's a better one, or now I can get it from a third party company.
Right. No, I think that's a really good point. Like if you keep stuff in a closet, it almost hides the problem a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like you're almost just trying to hide it away. Like, I'm just going to stick all this stuff into a closet. Don't let the wife look in there. If she needs something, I'll get it myself. It's like, that's kind of a problem too. Cause you don't want it to be this like dirty little secret that your wife's going to find someday and blow up on you.
Yeah.
It should be something that you're proud of displaying, so that if your wife or your significant other goes in there, they're like, hey, that display's kind of cool. I like that figure.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that one? It starts a conversation rather than starting an argument.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep your significant others involved in your collecting habits. I think it's a lot easier that way rather than trying to keep it some kind of secret. And the display is a good way to do that, because then that encourages them too. Like, hey, if you have something that you're proud of, you display it. Like, let's work on our displays together. What do you think looks good? Tell me what you think looks good, so that we have a good feeling about the house and how things are displayed. Let's make it like a group project thing, something I can get involved with you. So like if my wife's collecting something, I can help you display it. Like, here's different ideas that I have, just make it like a fun project.
Oh yeah.
And then, don't get so stuck in one thing being in your display. Think about different ways that you can switch it up over time, or as your collecting habits change, or as you get those new figures that Prime's talking about. It might encourage you to break something out of a box that you haven't broken out before, just because you want to put it on display. And then it might also make you think of figures that you have in there, like, okay, I do have a new updated version of this. Do I really need these 4 old ones that I've been holding on to for so long? Or can I let this go and just have this one be my main display piece?
Yeah.
I feel like Fwoosh does that a lot, but he's always saying like, my display's getting out of control.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking about it, what do I want to be the main representation of this character on the shelf?
Right.
And there are so many Spideys out there. And if you're a Spidey collector, it's a hard thing because there are a bunch of different ones, but just kind of look at it like that. Yeah. What do you want to represent that collection for you? Because that's what people are going to see.
Yeah.
They're not going to know that you have 50 figures in the closet that are all very valuable.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. So can't take it with you.
Right. Yeah, that's another thing too. I think about like, what's going to happen to my collection when I'm gone?
Yeah, Vulture's going to come by and just pick it apart.
Yeah, the only person that cares about it as much as I do is me.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
My wife doesn't care. They're going to want to get rid of it, sell it, get money back.
Dollar fire sale, $1.25.
Yeah, if you're not taking the time to enjoy that and display it, you don't know when's your last day. I don't mean to be.
We're going to end the topic on that.
Yeah, I don't want to go dark, but just you don't know how much time you have. So enjoy the hobby, enjoy the work that you're doing to put in to get those figures, because I think we all focus so much on the acquisition. Yeah, we don't really focus enough on the enjoyment. Yeah. And displaying figures is part of that process. So don't forget that. We would love to hear from you guys too. Like, how do you have display? Yeah. Are there things that you've done that you recommend to us? Are there maybe something other than a Billy bookcase or a detop that you use that you think is awesome? I'm open to ideas right now because I'm trying to figure out what I want from my display. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Same here.
But yeah. Great topic. Thank you to Mr. Star Marvel 76 himself. I would
Yeah,
love
that
to
was a good one.
hear how he has his stuff displayed. I think it's a good topic. Or, what's some of your new ideas? Like, there's a guy I follow, Rendy Toys on Instagram. It seems like in his living room, he's got like this kind of acrylic shelf system, and it's just like boom, 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 boom figures. And he goes in there and he picks one up and does a new photo. I don't know if I would be brave enough to put an acrylic setup like in my living room, but I thought it's really cool display.
Yeah.
And it seems like his whole family is involved in his collection, which is kind of
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's more out there that we're just not aware of because people don't share as much,
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from that. Cool. Anything else you want to say about that, or?
No, I think it's a good segue where we talk about, hey, you can't take the stuff with you. So we're gonna follow up with pre-orders.
Pre-order time. Yeah.
Get those wallets ready.
Get the wallets ready because they're coming for it. And with Toy Fair, holy shit, has there been a lot of new reveals and new stuff coming.
Yeah.
We could go through each single one. I know we've done this in a live, but maybe we just focus on some of your top ones.
Yeah.
Like when you think about Mezco, what's one of your top reveals that you're like, okay.
Oh, the top.
That's what I'm gonna have to get.
Damn, that's really good. I think the one that, I'm probably, I can't even, like, it's just crazy because I think NECA just floored me with the reveals that it's hard for me to, I know Mezco had some really good reveals, but the Storm Shadow really had me like, that perked me up because the Snake Eyes was like, but the Storm Shadow was like, oh, cool. Something about Mezco doing an all white figure. Like I have their Moon Knight and I have the PX Magneto. They look stellar. Like the white is like a really, really bright white. It looks killer. So I'm excited to see that Storm Shadow. I think Storm Shadow was the one for me for Mezco. Yeah, I think I would say Storm Shadow.
Yeah, Storm Shadow looks really cool. I want to see how it comes out because I think they just released a classified, but he's one that when I think about figures, there's not a whole lot of options out there for a good Storm Shadow,
Yeah.
And that in the Mezco style with the cloth goods,
I think it's going to be
killer. Really fit. Yeah, it could really fit the aesthetic really well. And just that teaser alone, you can see like the little gi, and he's got this Cobra symbol, and it just looks really nice just right off the bat. And you're only seeing a very small portion of the figure, so yeah, I think it's going to be one of those stunner figures. For me, it's the Mezco Robin.
See, I totally forgot about
that. Definitely takes the cake in most exciting releases. I really want to see how that comes out. If we're going to see different variants, different styles of Robin, who knows? But I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, that could eventually open up like a classic Robin, like the Daisy Duke Robin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Daisy Duke Robin. With little short shorts on and skin tights, and you could go Burt Ward style, like super old school 66 Batman.
That'd be cool.
Speaking of Batman, though, they did release. This is a different picture, but they basically told us this is coming. The Batman and Two-Face 2-pack.
Yep, definitely getting this one.
Yeah, definitely. I like the old school Batman. Looks like a Brave and the Bold version. These look, we talked about this a little bit. These look a little bit more Mego-ish, I guess. Although their heads do look a bit smaller. Two-Face's head looks kind of big.
Yeah.
But I like the classic suit on Two-Face.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Because I felt like with that first version of Two-Face, they went with like a new modern kind of look with the red and the black. And the purple and the orange is kind of like that classic style a lot of us were looking for. Plus with the green face, you don't realize that in the classic comics, he had the green face instead of the red scarred face.
And I'm surprised they haven't done like a PX version, a black and white. Like they were so known for that so quickly.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. You would think they would get that by now. But yeah, I'll be interested to see, for one, how much the price is going to be. Like, how much do you think this is going to cost?
I want to say 180.
Yeah, I was thinking it's going to be 180 or 200.
Yeah,
very close to that. Because if you think about like some Mezco exclusives at $112, you know, with your 2 figures in here. Hopefully they shave off a little bit of the price. Like you're not paying full price for 2 different figures, but
Yeah.
I think 180 to 200 is pretty fair bet. I can't remember the last time we got a 2-pack though.
The Popeye and Bluto.
Popeye and Bluto.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much that was? Because I don't remember.
I don't. That's unfortunate. I think it was close to $200.
Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, I can't remember how much that stuff costs, but I'll be interested to see what it's going to cost from Mezco because, you know, I just don't know what to expect here. But yeah, by the time this goes up, we already know because I think it goes up very soon.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if the Spider-Man that was released during Toy Fair, Spider-Man Green Goblin, if that's going to be like another 2-pack. It didn't say it in the solicitation, but they showed both figures at the same time. And then they have the Dick Tracy 2-pack at some point. I'm surprised we didn't get that first.
Yeah.
You know,
that we haven't got that solicited.
Yeah, I think that was teased first, but we haven't seen a pre-order for that yet. So I don't know when that's going to pop up. And then there's obviously the Mezco TMNT tease they gave us during Toy Fair.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
That's going to be like what, in the 400s, just like the Fantastic Four.
Gosh, probably. Yeah. It's going to be at least $420, like Fantastic Four. But, you know, I think Fantastic Four warrants that price, in my opinion, because you've got cloth goods on all those figures.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of extra stuff that's coming with it. You got the Herbie that's coming with it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When you think about TMNT, they don't have the cloth goods. So they're going to have to, in my opinion, they're going to have to make up for that somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether it's accessories or articulation, I don't know what it is that could really.
Bunch of head sculpts, something.
Bunch of head sculpts. Maybe they throw in Splinter as a free edition or something, you know, something like that. But if they're trying to pull a $420 price tag for a turtle figure that has no clothes on it, I'm going to be kind of questioning that. Like, this doesn't seem worth it to me. It's not.
No, I wouldn't.
You know, yeah, I've got NECA that's giving me turtles at a much better price point. Yeah, I'm totally happy with that stuff. So what is the incentive for Mezco to pull me?
It's going to be hard to compete for $125 for a 4-pack from NECA to $400 or let's say it's $300 from Mezco.
Right. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But that's one of the bigger reveals that really stuck with me. But you did mention NECA, and NECA had some doozies, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Let me see. Some of these have already popped up on BBTS, so that's what I'm pulling up right now. But I love this new Slash.
Yeah, I'm getting that Slash.
He
looks so good. I prefer that look over the cartoon one that he came out like with one goofy eye and the other like. I remember the Playmate was like close to that arcade game color, but I wasn't too crazy about the arcade version one, the TMNT in Time. This one I really like.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Totally agree with what you're saying. Like, I would prefer this look for Slash because he looks very comic accurate. He's not as colorful and kind of goofy looking like some of the arcade ones have been. So yeah, I'm a big fan of how this comes out. And it looks like it's probably about the same size as the Turtles in Disguise.
That looks cool.
I don't know for sure, but that would be cool if it was. I don't think you get this ooze, but I like how it's part of the photo here.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what all he comes with. So you've got like the Wolverine claws.
Yep.
He's got the shoulder pads.
He's got a couple
weapons here. Yeah, that's the curved sai, which is very unique to Slash. I like his turtle shell.
Yeah.
It's got all the spikes in it.
That looks really good.
Really cool. Awesome release. Here it kind of shows you what you're getting. You don't get a ton of stuff in here, but you do get some
a couple
signature Slash. Yeah. $37. Not bad for NECA. Although I feel like, we're talking about NECAs being $20, $25. They've slowly gone up in price too.
Yeah. Almost $40.
A lot of these new ones are around the $40 price range. I don't know anything about this Rennet.
Yeah.
Figure Rennet. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. From Mirage Comics. I guess this is one of the Turtle comic books. I don't know. Apprentice Time Master prefers playing hooky to hitting the books and meets the Turtles while skipping out on her studies. Interesting.
Huh.
Be curious if anybody really gets excited about this one or knows who this person is, because I don't know much about this. It's one of those figures I've never heard anything about. What's up with the floating head, man?
That
I
looks
don't
really
know about
cool.
that.
Might have to get it just for the head.
I do like the deco though. On like you can see the line work.
Yeah.
You know, it looks kind of comic-ish, kind of like that
Yeah, it looks
Slash
really
did.
Yeah.
Last Ronin. This is the armored one. This is a huge surprise for people that are comic readers. You know, if this is one of the comics you've read recently, this is really hitting home. Kind of surprised that we didn't get this a little earlier. I'm surprised nobody gave us a Ronin figure earlier than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, really exciting. Either
You're
way,
gonna be picking up this one?
I think I might have to, man. I don't know if I'm going to get another Ronin figure. I mean, this to me, this would be a better Mezco.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I felt like when Mezco was teasing TMNT, maybe they were teasing. I thought they were teasing the Last Ronin.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, we're not going to do them all, but we'll do this Last Ronin because Last Ronin in the comic has all these clothes that he wears to hide who he is.
All that ninja stuff.
You know, yeah. And he's an older turtle. You know, he's the only surviving brother. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody that hasn't read the comic, but he's basically the last turtle that uses all the weapons. He's like the combination of all four turtles.
That's cool.
But yeah, very exciting release. Another one that's $37. And then you've got Mikey as the Mummy.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
Looks really good. Man, this one came out so good.
Yeah, it looks really great. Shout out to DGDX who did the animation. That guy's skills are bar none. What he's able to do really sold the figure for me. I said this on the live. The only thing I wish that they would have included is a bandaged head sculpt.
Yeah, that does seem like it's kind of missing.
Because they've got the bandaged neck, but no bandaged head sculpt.
Yeah.
But they did do that classic kind of throwback for the rotted face.
Yeah,
from it's supposed to be a recreation of the rotted suit from the first movie.
Yeah, and seeing the picture of all three of them together, it looks really good. Can't wait to complete the set or see when they all come out. We have Leo, Raph, and Mikey right here, so it's just seeing those three together. I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah, and it's I think on the Raph box it teased that I think we're getting April as Bride and Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Then they showed two other characters, which I don't know. One of them has to be Donnie, which I don't know if that's going to be a Wolfman or how Donnie's going to if he's going to be a Dracula. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But on BBTS, surprisingly, Leo is now out of stock.
Oh, wow.
Which is weird. I think it's on Entertainment Earth, so you can still get it there.
Yeah.
But out of these three, Leo's probably the one I thought was going to last the longest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He looks great, but these
and
two are the
just
ones,
people completing the team now, because I think Raph was a solid hit. Leo was kind of like but once they saw Mikey, they're like, oh, we got to get Leo because we know now that we want all four turtles.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. A lot of cool stuff, though. You got the esophagus. Esophagus, did I say?
Esophagus? Escarphagus?
I'm saying esophagus, and that's not what I mean. I can't remember what I'm trying to say. The thing that came with the mummy.
With the mummy?
Yeah, what is it?
Call it...
There it is. Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus. Circumference.
Esophagus. Sarcophagus. Oh my God. Somebody's going to murder me for that one. But yeah, this is cool. Accessory pack.
Yeah.
I won't go through all the Toy Fair releases. I know we got a lot of stuff, but
yeah.
And then you got the 2 packs that were released today. You get the Granitor and the Crooked Ninja Foot Clan. I think they're going up for a 2-week pre-order on NECA.
Oh,
that's a couple others.
The accessory pack went up today too?
No, the accessory pack didn't go up. So yeah, you get that's another thing you just announced. TMNT 2, Secret of the Ooze, 4-pack, and the accessory pack. That's going to be a 2-week pre-order at some point.
Nice.
Hasn't gone up yet. I think they're going to do the first 2 weeks with these 2-packs they just put up today. Those are going to last for 2 weeks, and then when those go down, they'll probably put up the new Secret of the Ooze figures.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, lots of stuff. I know we missed some things there, guys. We could spend an entire episode just talking about that, which we've already kind of done already. So I don't go through that again in so much detail. But anything I'm missing there, Prime, that we wanted to mention?
No, I think we covered at least the highlights, the key ones that we wanted to cover, and the ones that really got my attention. It was just those two, some of the TMNT stuff from NECA, and then the Mesco, Storm Shadow, and Robin.
Yeah, cool. All right, moving into our next topic. Plastic confections. Are you getting a token this week, Prime?
No, I am no token for me this time. I got a 1/18 Joy Toy, the Ryzen Rigo. So he's like a
Ryzen Rigo.
It's a new body that they're using. It's like he's supposed to be cyborg. So got some cyborg parts. Kind of looks like a cable. It's really cool. Comes with the jetpack.
I like his jetpack. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm pumped to open him up. And then I got some Super 7 stuff. I got the best turtle, Raphael.
Nice, Raphael.
And then I got Donnie.
Not really the best turtle, but okay.
Yeah. So just waiting
on
my Leo.
Nice. So you got Mikey already too?
Yeah, I got Mikey.
Okay.
Yeah, so those were it. My 3.
So you got all 4 turtles complete. Nice.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Cool. Well, I got my Legion's reinforcement wave finally showed up.
Nice.
So I got quite a few figures out of that. I'm slowly opening them up. I'm trying not to open all at once, but one of the ones I got open first was this Barbarian.
He looks so freaking cool.
He just looks awesome, and he comes with so much stuff. Like these horns here, you can take these out and replace them with other horns.
Oh, sweet.
He comes with all kinds of, like, this whole piece comes off. You can replace this whole belt piece and switch in something else. These pauldrons are removable. You can take these off and put like a different pauldron on there if you want.
That's really cool.
He's got the 2 different.
Yeah.
It comes with a different head sculpt. I mean, just you could almost make, if you had 2 of these, you could almost make 2 completely different figures out of both of them.
Yeah.
And for being, it definitely was one of the more expensive ones. It was $55.
Yeah.
In that sale, but you get so much for your money, and I'm just really impressed with it.
Yeah, looks good.
So yeah, the Barbarian is awesome, and then I also opened up Skeleton Builder. These are just really cool. Yeah, just great details in the head. It's not really coming out too well. No, okay, doesn't want to focus. But yeah, $25 for this.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
You get so much stuff for your money. Again, these pauldrons come with it, so these can come off. You can display him without the pauldrons if you want.
That's really cool.
Or I can take the ones from the dwarf or the Barbarian here and use them on this guy. Or I can use all the Barbarian's armor and put it on this guy.
Put it on the skeleton. That's really cool.
Yeah. That's one thing that's really cool about the Legions is that all the parts swap with each other. So it doesn't matter if you've got a different figure. I mean, obviously there's different sizes. So
yeah.
An orc body won't go with a Barbarian. But if you have a similar figure, you can swap out everything on that figure.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make all your own custom stuff. And then I also got Sir Gerard opened. He's dope. He's really cool.
That's really cool.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He comes with 2 different head sculpts. This is the alternate one. But yeah, I've got a few others that I want to open up too. I'm just kind of like, I'm opening it, enjoying it, and then opening up the next one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they look really good.
I'm trying to make sure I've got a display for it. And this kind of encouraged me to sort of reorganize as we were talking about our displays.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I got to start making room for Legions now because that's going to be a bigger staple of my collection. So
yeah,
I got to clear out space for them. So I was kind of going through and everything. But yeah, very happy with the Legions so far.
Nice.
And if you guys missed it, I was on Dork Layers podcast last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of randomly asked me to be on. All Stars 5 is coming out soon. So if you guys are into Legions, they're having a new voting session soon for the All Stars 5 wave, which you can vote on any of the past figures that have come out. I think previous All Star waves are open for that. So if there's a figure that you want to get from Legions and you haven't had a chance to get your hands on it,
you can vote on it.
All Stars is, you can vote on it and hopefully get it approved to be made. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's exciting. Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next topic, Nasty Nate's dirty trick for the week.
Here we go.
So one thing that I really struggled for, and I still struggle on doing, are action shots, where you're trying to sell action, or you've got two figures fighting, or you've got someone punching someone else, or they're kicking each other. I mean, you name what, it's anything action related.
Yeah.
Are probably some of the most difficult toy photography I've ever done, action related shots, because the first thing you think about is, how am I going to sell this action? You watch a movie and it's easy because somebody's punching someone else. You can see, the cause and the effect happening. But in a toy shot, it's a freeze frame. So all you have is that one frame to get the idea across. That's it. There's no precursor. There's no after effect. You have one shot to kind of get that action. And it's really hard to sell that and figure out, like, okay, what's the best perspective? What's the best angle? How can I get this in people's head that they know what's going on? How can I sell the action so that it really looks like that's happening? Obviously, part of it is the pose. That's a big part of it. If you don't have the pose right, it's not going to sell the image correctly. But the other part that I've discovered more and more and more over time are effect pieces that you can add into that.
Right.
So one way you can really sell action is by adding effects, whether it's a BAM, if you got like the Mezco Advent calendar, that came with a lot of great stuff.
It did.
You got the BAM, the boom, the pow.
Yeah.
You got the punch effects. There's been stuff released by Yamaguchi where they have that.
Oh, yeah.
I think a few old Mezcos had like the bullet ricochet effects that came on Superman.
Yep.
Craig had like a blow up effect too. I mean, it's very far and few between. But if you are a long-time collector, you probably have something in your collection that you maybe don't think about using as the to sell the action, but it would really work. So I've been trying to do that more and more. And when I'm doing an action shot, how can I try to sell this? And so I had that recent photo with the Rorschach, and I put in the Advent calendar punch effect, because without that, before I took that shot, I was having a really hard time getting the point across that he was really pummeling him. Because it just looked like he kind of just had his fist on his face,
Yeah.
It didn't look like the action was really kind of hitting him.
Yeah.
And I felt like as soon as I added that, it really sold the effect. So if you guys are struggling for an action shot, try to look for some effects.
Yeah.
Or make your
shot
own.
Really good.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I've gotten a lot of great feedback. And I'm not using this to try to toot my own horn. It's just like, I thought about it as I'm creating the shot, like, man, this effect piece did it. This is what sold it for me. This is what made the shot complete. So I know that's one thing I struggle with a long time, is trying to sell the action in my shots. But just think about effect pieces. Or if you guys don't have any, make your own. If you have a nice printer, you can print out a piece of paper. You can use blue tack to tack it on the figure's face or something, or whatever the case. Like, just use your imagination. But there's just a lot you can do to add to a shot. And those little details, I feel like, really sell an idea. So if you guys are having that kind of trouble, just look in your collection, look in your accessories. What's something I can use that maybe isn't intended for what I'm going to use it for, but works nonetheless.
That's usually what the trick.
Yeah, I had the Tamashi effects when I did shots for the Robin figure, the V-Toys Robin. I used like a smoke effect that was meant for smoke trails.
Yeah.
I ended up using it as a punch effect because it looked like it was sort of air coming off his fist or something like that. Just another example where I'm just trying to think outside of the box. So hopefully that helps you guys.
That's awesome.
If you guys have effect pieces maybe I'm not thinking about, let us know.
Yeah.
Or if you have a good source where you can get them. I think ACBA used to sell them. I don't think they're very easy to get though.
Yeah.
That group, I think a lot of that stuff sells out quick. But GP's lot or GPS lot on eBay has stuff like that. Yeah, so just look around. There's a lot out there. Okay, last but certainly not least, because it's probably one of my favorite pieces of the show, is the Figure Aficionado. But of course, as I'm saying that, I don't have it queued up, so let me just do that real quick. And if you guys are listening and you don't think that we're giving someone proper attention, give us some ideas.
Yeah.
We've gotten a few ideas in the past, and they've been really helpful. They've actually made me discover certain accounts that I didn't know about before.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to hear from you guys. So, as you guys are hitting the like button, make sure you're also leaving a comment below about somebody that you want us to feature. I'd really, really appreciate that. because I don't want these just to be my picks or Prime's picks. I want them to be community picks too.
Prime's picks.
Prime's privates. So yeah, Figure Aficionado for this week. Let me go ahead and share my screen for anybody listening. It is Matt Visions.
Yeah.
And it's spelled MATTVISIONZZZ. And this guy is a great photographer, and he's got a very unique style. You can see one of his quotes here is, where there's an action figure, there's rock.
Nice.
This guy likes rock music. He does a lot of rock music inspired shots. I think he does all kinds of things. You can see, like, this isn't rock music, but as we get into some of his gallery here, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I love this custom red hood. He got the head painted by someone, the body's from a black Mezco Death Brigade Black Skull. Got the jacket from Cyclops. You got a shirt from GPS Lot on eBay. That's funny. We were just talking about that. So that's a cool custom figure.
Yeah.
He's got this Thor here, which is like a custom fabric style Thor. It's another thing about this guy's gallery. He's got a lot of really cool, like, custom figures or just things that he's done to figures that we've seen before that just give it a totally different look.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Great shots.
Yeah, great shot with Red Hood and Batman. You can see, I think Stitch is consoling Red Hood. One of the ones that really kind of caught my attention. I know we're going through some other great stuff here, but this one, Stitch and Batman rocking out together. I thought this was so creative and cool.
That's awesome. That's such a killer shot.
Yeah, I'd never think to put a guitar in Batman's hand like that, but man, he really sold it. It looks like he is shredding out on that guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, just super creative. He's got other shots here where he did like a music set scene with the Spider-Verse. You got a bunch of different Mafex figures rocking out together.
Really cool.
Just really, really creative stuff here. But yeah, go through his gallery. Definitely give him some love. Give him a follow. Big shout out to you, Matt Visions. And I think, oh wait, is that a Prime Arcade? I think it is a Prime Arcade. Where was that at? Right there. Oh wait, let's go to this one.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's Prime, baby. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
awesome.
I'm following for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, you can even see some of Prime's art featured in there.
Yeah.
He's done a few shots with arcades.
Yeah. With he asked for the Venom and Wolverine specific screenshot. So those killer.
Nice.
Killer stuff.
Yeah, those came out great. Yeah, big shout out to you, Matt Visions. Matthew Gonzalez, you're absolutely killing it, dude. I hope you get a bigger following because you definitely deserve it.
For sure.
But yeah, you're a Figure Aficionado this week. Let us know what you guys think. And like I said, please give us some suggestions on people that you want to see. I'd love to hear from you guys on your thoughts about the Figure Aficionado.
Awesome. And that's it, guys. Another episode done in the books. We hope you guys enjoyed our theme for this week. Again, it was just focusing on our display collection. Let us know your thoughts, comments, shoot us that feedback. Make sure you hit that like. Check out our site if you want to scope out some of our merch that we got up there. And hopefully we'll be bringing out some more stuff too. So something's cooking in the oven. So gotta get that summer apparel out,
That's right. Yeah, we're changing in the season, so maybe you'll see some more t-shirts coming down the line. But yeah. To Prime's point, hit the like button, leave a comment. We'd love to hear for your feedback on this episode. Thanks for all the comments and the likes on our previous 2 episodes. Seems like you guys really like those interviews. Something we're definitely going to be doing more of here pretty soon. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you doing with your lives? Subscribe, hit that notification bell. We got a comment last time that said, hey guys, I'm an audio listener. Maybe if you could just do a little bit more explaining on the video. We really try hard to do that. We appreciate the feedback. But if there are interview guests or like Mike's episode specifically, I really recommend you guys watch the video on that one.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah, there's not a lot we can do to help explain that because he's literally walking through his workshop. So if you guys want to see that, obviously we appreciate you audio listeners. We really appreciate that. But check out the video version too if you haven't checked it out before. You might see something that surprises you. Yeah. And some of those episodes, the future ones, might be more video heavy.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to try to cater to both, but just
Yep.
throwing it out there. If you're not subscribed, if you're not checking out our video versions, please check them out from time to time. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. And as always, you guys can check me out on Instagram and Twitter, Prime to the First. Something goofy's going on with my Facebook page, so I'm going to take a break from the Prime to the First Facebook page. But Instagram and Twitter, you guys still follow me there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and occasionally TikTok, all at figurefan_Nate. Big thanks to all you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. You've been listening to The Figure Booth.